Wow, the Johnny Gargano sure take a turn to the dark side tonight. Well, not a heel turn, but embraced a different attitude tonight. But we'll talk about that and we get to the main event of this show. What's going on, guys? As always, this is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of NXT on the July 4th, 2018 edition episode of NXT, which took place, of course, in Full Sail University. Happy 4th of July also, everybody. Hope you had a good day today. Enjoyed a nice cookout, some fireworks, parade or whatnot. Sure, it was a pretty fun day. I had fun today. It was awesome. Let's get right to the show, though, because I'm pretty tired. I had a long day. So this week's episode of NXT continues on as we start our build to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, which is already shaping up to be a pretty good pay-per-view for the most part. Well, we don't have any matches confirmed, but of course, we have a lot coming in the upcoming weeks as well. It's definitely going to start shaping up the card soon. We start off with a match with Dakota Kai and Santana Garrett. Haven't seen Santana Garrett for a while. She seemed like she's an enhancement talent, not completely enhancement talent, but a decent talent who comes by here and there to help put over stars like this. So it was kind of a face-on-face match. They did shake hands beforehand. They started a tactical wrestling match. They traded control in a wrist lock, and Dakota Kai and the fellow Mae Young Classic entrant each got the better of a speed exchange. Garrett gets a near fall and locks in a submission, focusing on Dakota's arm. But after blocking an attempt to jaw jack her, Kai hits a straight up enziguri. Her usual flurry of kicks follows, and then team kicks. Captain manages to win it with a flip over lung blower. So this is a way to give Dakota Kai a victory to give her some momentum going against. And she recently lost her NXT Championship match to Shayna Baszler, and she recently lost also to Bianca Belair. So this is going to continue building up Dakota Kai as an underdog. Of course, we'll hear from her mortal enemy, or the one she's terrified of, Shayna Baszler, though, in a little bit. Though we see footage from the two guys arriving at the arena for our main event, which is Johnny Gargano versus EC3. EC3 is probably in the heel, is smiling and high-fiving fans. Johnny Gargano is looking angry, and he walks past everybody, doesn't acknowledge anybody at all as he is focused. And, he's just enraged. He just wants to get his hands on Tommaso Ciampa once more, even though Real told him, no, he has to move on from that feud. We also have a handy cam promo with Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovic in a weight room. And then Dozovic goes to check on their stakes, and we hear a crash in the background. And we go back to see Tucker Knight holding onto his ankle underneath some of the weights. And we see two men scurry off in the background, which were most likely Nick Miller and Shane Thorne from TM61, The Mighty. Well, now they're called just The Mighty, since they had a tag match that night. And it pretty much was just, right off Tucker Knight in the match. But then we had the promo with Shayna Baszler. She comes in wearing street clothes and calls for a mic, and everybody kept asking how she'd handle something like Nikki Cross when a dog gets rabies. You put it to sleep. She answered that question. Chicago, she's the most feared, the most dominant force in NXT. She knows the fans want to ask her, so the champ runs down the options: Bianca Belair, Kairi Sane, Candice LeRae, who should probably stay home and take care of her husband, as she said. They are having a second Mae Young Classic because she feels they're trying to find someone to challenge her. It doesn't matter who they put against her. We'll still hear and still champion after all of her matches, pretty much. So just, just to hear from the new champ, from the champion after she retained her championship in matches against Nikki Cross at TakeOver Chicago 2 and at the UK Championship Tournament, when she retained against Toni Storm in a pretty good match. I got to give, by far, I feel Baszler's best match as champion was her and Toni Storm. So we just put that over. We have a reminder that Oney Lorcan was injured after what happened at their match against the Undisputed Era at TakeOver Chicago. Kathy Kelly interviews Danny Burch, asking his thoughts on her loss at TakeOver for an update on Lorcan. And Chicago was a culmination of 25 years of hard work. Injuries happen, but they're going to get back in the mix for the tag titles. Undisputed Era rolls up, and they tell him that they have to get in the back of the line because next week they're invoking their rematch clause against Mustache Mountain. Burch reminds them about his success against them over the past few weeks, and Adam Cole asks where their big heads have come from. He thinks it's from when he gave Oney Lorcan a North American title shot. And Danny wants to go one-on-one with Cole too. And first he laughs it off, but then he accepts the match. We're going to be getting that match next week. Danny Burch and Adam Cole, not for the championship, the North American Championship, just for a one-on-one match. We also got a hype video for the War Raiders, and then we get a recap of what happened with the War Words exchange last week between Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa. And then we would then find out that Tommaso Ciampa will indeed get his NXT Championship title opportunity in 3 weeks against Aleister Black. So 3 weeks, that's probably the end of July. Probably we'll be seeing that match. By then, it'll probably be a match, even the match is going to happen, or it's going to at least set up, what's next to come with the whole Gargano and Ciampa feud, as I do see this feud continuing. We had then, it was supposed to be Heavy Machinery taking on the Mighty, but then because Tucker Knight was taken out by them, we had just Otis Dozovic take on the Mighty in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And for the most part, Dozovic was doing well pretty much in the match, but then the Mighty eventually got the upper hand on him after they Nick Miller pushed Otis Dozovic into a lariat from Shane right to the back of the head, and that's what knocked out Otis Dozovic. Just another match to continue to put over the Mighty as heels, pretty much, as they're getting a lot of momentum. Then we have an interview with Bianca Belair from her honeymoon, where she married Montez Ford recently. She's heard about the rest of the women's roster lobbying to be number one contender. She runs them down just like the champ did, and decided she's just going to enjoy her honeymoon and let these other girls have a chance to catch up to her undefeated self, pretty much, as she's starting to feel that she deserves a title opportunity, which I do agree Bianca Belair definitely does with how great she's been doing in NXT. Then Kairi Sane was also interviewed, said she heard what Vanessa Bourne said about her. She thinks Bourne should focus on fighting. She plans to make her walk the plank, then go after the treasure that is the NXT Women's Championship. Bourne and Sane will have a match next week. And then it was also made official for Adam Cole and Danny Burch next week also. We then had a match between Velveteen Dream and Chris Dijak, which I thought was a pretty good match also. I mean, Chris Dijak is somewhat of a no-name, but I feel like he showed some potential in this match. I wonder if he's going to be sticking around more and getting more opportunities than just putting over Velveteen Dream. Of course, it felt like that maybe Velveteen Dream was teasing a face turn in this match. As I did say last week in my top 10 suitors should turn face in the second half of 2018, I said one was Velveteen Dream, because I feel like, as a heel, I mean, he's great, but he's starting to run out of options, and he's super over with the crowd. So why not give him a run as a babyface? He can feud with guys like, EC3, Tommaso Ciampa, Lars Sullivan, anybody from the Undisputed Era or whatnot, pretty much. All those guys as well. So I think this match, maybe, if they are going to, have Chris Dijak become a little more of a regular on NXT for it, because, I think he showed good showing this match, but Velveteen Dream had to adapt his style a little bit, and he eventually did beat Chris Dijak following a DDT. Afterwards, though, while he's celebrating, EC3 comes out for the main event, and he stares down Velveteen Dream because they were involved in a tag match in the UK tournament. EC3 and Velveteen Dream taking on a team of Aleister Black and Ricochet, but Velveteen Dream walked out on EC3, so he stared him down as he left, and then EC3 is pumping up the crowd. We also got informed also next week we will be getting the tag team championship rematch between Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven, and the Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. That we have a backstage segment with Bate and Seven talking about proving the Undisputed Era was wrong to treat them as jokes. They beat them in London. It's only fair to do the same in the States. That match will be next week. And we also, again, learned about the NXT champion, Aleister Black, will also be in attendance live next week also. So that should be also a pretty good segment. Also, so far next week's card is looking pretty stacked for NXT. Then we got our main event. Johnny Gargano taking on EC3. Of course, again, this match came about because Regal knows that Johnny wants one more match with Tommaso Ciampa, but Regal thinks it's time for him to move on. So he's to take out all your anger or whatnot on EC3, pretty much what he did. And Johnny came out, again, EC3 came out just being himself. Johnny came out just looking like angry, like he wanted to kill somebody. And he was in there, and you hear EC3 going, settle down, pretty much. That was the story of the match. EC3 was signed up for a wrestling match. Johnny was pretty much out there just, he was having an excuse to see Tommaso Ciampa, and that's what played the effect in this match. Is Johnny was not looking like his normal self; he was looking like he was embracing Tommaso Ciampa and his anger towards him and whatnot, using the knee strikes and whatnot, and holding onto the Gargano escape while EC3's hand was on the rope several times up to the count of 4, like he was going to get counted out. But Johnny just went to more dark and dangerous matters to beat EC3 as he beat him, hitting like a sick looking DDT on him, which is of course the same move that Tommaso Ciampa used, of course, while handcuffed to beat Gargano at TakeOver Chicago 2. Of course, after the match, Johnny just looks angry and confused. He doesn't celebrate cheering the crowd, but he just looks angry. He was interviewed afterwards backstage saying how Tommaso Ciampa beat him, and he's been trying to take everything away from him. Now Tommaso Ciampa's getting everything he's got, and Johnny's like, I just don't know who I am anymore. I'm definitely not Johnny Wrestling and whatnot. So again, it's already taking the stakes of this feud to a different level, as we're probably into the third and final match between these two for now at NXT at TakeOver Brooklyn 4, which I think should either be, I thought Hell in a Cell. My other friend Dakota Virus suggested I Quit match, which could be good also. But I'm definitely, of course, looking forward to see where they go next with Gargano and Ciampa, as you see that Johnny Gargano is embracing a little bit of a dark side to him, getting involved in this build for match number 3 between him and Ciampa. And Ciampa, of course, as before, has the NXT Championship match in 3 weeks against Aleister Black. So we'll see what happens there. Or will Johnny cost him the title there, or what? But guys, that's it for this episode of NXT. Again, I kind of flew through it, but I'm tired. I've had a long day. I'll give this episode of NXT a B+ because a lot of stuff was good, but it's more so just a lot of like short matches, just get over, put some other talent over, and of course the story line with Johnny Gargano and EC3 was spot on. That's why I probably gave this a little bit higher grade than I expected. So yeah, B+ for NXT this week. What grade did you have NXT this week? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe more content on my channel and follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93. Again, I probably will not be able to do my special live stream tomorrow, but I will do it on Friday instead, which will be my top 10 unexpected turns, either face or heel, in WWE. So that's it, guys. I'm checking it out. So until then, have a great night. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Peace out, everybody, and God bless America.